Welcome to Project Management Multiple Choice Questions, focused on Scope Management, Part 4. The content aligns with the PMBOK 7th edition principles. Question 61. A regulatory authority introduces a new compliance requirement mid-project. What should the project manager do first? The correct answer is B. Perform impact analysis and raise a formal change request. Regulatory changes are external factors requiring formal assessment and governance. Question 62. In a value-driven organization, a completed deliverable no longer aligns with business strategy. What process failed? The failure points to C, strategic alignment monitoring. PMBOK 7 emphasizes the ongoing need to monitor alignment with strategic value. Question 63. A vendor contract has an ambiguously defined scope, leading to disputes during execution. Where did the issue primarily originate? The primary cause is B, incomplete scope definition, as ambiguity should be resolved during the planning phase. Question 64. A product owner reprioritizes the backlog every sprint, leading to stakeholder complaints about, quote, changing scope. What is the best response? The best response is B. Explain the adaptive scope approach and value prioritization. Adaptive environments expect scope to evolve based on value. Question 65. A team member adds additional functionality, called gold plating, to improve quality. The client is impressed. What is the long-term risk? The risk is C. Uncontrolled scope expansion. Adding unauthorized features, even if appreciated, undermines scope control. Question 66. In a program with multiple projects, one project's scope change negatively affects another. This indicates a lack of. This situation highlights a lack of B, integrated scope governance, required at the program level to coordinate multiple projects. Question 67. A sponsor wants to remove a feature to accelerate delivery, but contractual obligations require it. What should the project manager do? The PM should choose B, negotiate a contract amendment. Contractual requirements take precedence over informal sponsor direction. Question 68. Vague acceptance criteria lead to repeated rework. What is the best preventative action? The best preventative action is B. Conduct detailed requirement workshops to ensure clarity and prevent future ambiguity. Question 69. Which PMBOK 7 principle directly supports disciplined scope governance? The correct principle is A. Stewardship, which ensures responsible oversight of the project's scope and overall value. Question 70. A hybrid project maintains a fixed regulatory core scope but allows feature flexibility. This is an example of C, tailored lifecycle approach, where the project adapts its scope strategy based on specific constraints. Question 71. Stakeholders demand real-time visibility of scope changes. What artifact best supports this transparency? B, the changelog, is the best artifact for tracking and communicating the status of approved or rejected scope changes. Question 72. A project meets requirements but fails user adoption targets. What is the likely root cause? The root cause is C. Misalignment between product scope and user needs. The product met specifications but failed to meet the true market need. Question 73. When discussing scope trade-offs, which constraint triangle components are most directly impacted by a scope increase? The answer is B. Cost and schedule. Scope changes directly affect the classic triple constraint elements. Question 74. Delegating minor scope changes to a change authority while major changes require board approval primarily ensures. This layered approach ensures C. Governance scalability, balancing efficiency for small changes with control for large ones. Question 75. In an adaptive environment, what does the definition of done primarily protect against? The definition of done protects against B. Incomplete deliverables, ensuring clarity on what constitutes high-quality completion. Question 76. A project manager finds overlapping scope between two departments producing similar outputs. What is the best action? The best action is C. Clarify scope boundaries and update documentation to prevent waste and ensure clarity. Question 77. A client insists scope was verbally agreed to, but no documentation exists. What protects the project manager? A. Meeting minutes and the signed scope baseline are critical formal documentation that protects the project legally and operationally. Question 78. A scope change increases value significantly but exceeds budget limits. The project manager should prioritize. The PM should prioritize B, value analysis and stakeholder decision, aligning with PMBOK 7's value-driven decision-making with governance. Question 79. Which approach best minimizes scope ambiguity in complex projects? The best approach is B, visual models and prototypes, as they clarify expectations far better than textual documents in complex environments. Question 80. Scope performance measurement in predictive projects is primarily monitored through. The standard metric for integrated scope, cost, and schedule performance in predictive projects is B, earned value management. Thank you for watching. Please watch part 5 of this video to continue learning about scope management. Like and subscribe to this channel to keep growing your career. Good luck.